So here we go. We're going to revisit the alignment on this 2002 Dodge Ram van. Because last time I went positive because that's what the book said. And I just did a little guess. Well, because I went positive, the outer tires are wearing. And it actually wore all the way down. So I replaced these. But this is the inner here. The outer's starting to wear. So I'm going to revisit this alignment. I think this time I'm not worried about what the book says with the, you know, this van's old. You know, there's other parts involved, coil springs, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 0 degrees. I'm going to go plumb. I'm going to use a level and see what we get with that. I talked to somebody and they told me what they do on older vehicles is they go to 0 and they never have a problem. I'll show you where I'm at now. See it? So it's positive. I need to get that bubble in the center. Let's go check the other one with the level. I think the driver's worse than the passenger. This is a funny shaped level, so you got to make sure the flat is on flat of the rotor. Well, you can see this one's worse. So let's do it. We're going to do it with the Miller 8199 tool right here. Bought this online for $100. Miller 8199. See what we got. All right, so I got the Miller 8199 tool connected in this mount pocket here. Get ready to make the adjustment. Now this is the driver's side. You see all that space between the tool, the bolts, and the motor mount? Well, look on the passenger side. Come on, man. So yeah, the passenger side's a nightmare. But I guess I'll video that too. You gotta play games over there. There's no room because the motor mount's right in the way. Well, let's do this side first. Do the driver's side. All right, so the first step is you get it set up under the rotors. It's got to be down on weight. The reason why it's up on a block and everything is so I have room to get under there. So the first thing you want to do after that is to put the tool on. You have to get the tool set up. See how I got it set up? So in the middle of the tool is the 2 brass screws. You got to tighten them down to hold it to that pocket in there. And then once that's tight, then you tighten the 2 to the upper control arm bolts. See the 2 silver ones on the outside? Make sure those are tight. And then you loosen these 2 bolts here. There's a bolt there and there's a bolt there. But only do that if the tool's on there. Another way you can do it, you see how I have the weight on the rotor? So being that the weight's on the rotor, all the weight is going to those bolts. If you were to put a jack under the lower control arm and jack that up, and all the weight is under there, then this up here is free. You can loosen them too, but the whole thing will just move in and out real easy. And you can do that to make the adjustment. It just makes it more complicated. You know what I mean? Because how are you going to hold it and tighten the bolts? It's better to be underweight with that tool. You know, but I found out if you go under the control arm, this is all free. When you loosen them bolts, you can just move it in and out real simple and easy. But if it's under the rotor, pushing up on the rotor, then all the weight is there. So don't loosen them bolts unless the tool's on there if you're under the rotor. I just wanted to give you that little tip, save you. Now I'm going to start with the back bolt. It says do not use any power tools, but what am I going to do? I'm going to use a power tool. All right, now we're going to go to the front. Now we should see a difference in the bubble. Alright, see what we got. Alright, I gotta come out there and check. Of course I can't see, the camera's in the way. But that looks pretty good right there. I think I'm gonna go with it. So now I just gotta tighten them bolts down, the two upper control arm bolts. I'll tighten them down, then we'll move to the other side, Clyde. Alright, so this side here, I can't even get a ratchet on there. So definitely can't get a power tool on there. So I'm just going to use a 5/8 wrench. I got a ratchet and wrench on there. So let's do it. Good luck keeping the wrench on there. Come on. Definitely not easy. Alright, so that feels good there. Looks good. I'm gonna go with that. I did tighten up the driver's side and I torqued it already, 220 foot-pounds. So now I just got to get the tool off of the passenger side, which it was a nightmare getting it on there. And I have to torque this side and it should be good. Hopefully. I'll probably have to do an update video later to let you know. I'll give it a couple of months, maybe 3 months or so, see if the tires are alright or not.